Hey, welcome to Bridges Live. This is Dr. Paul. I'm waiting for everything to come on live here. And I want to say thank you for listening to Bridges Live. Of course, you can always catch Bridges Live on all your podcast channels. Oh my God, Dr. Thelma, you disappeared on me. There you go. So, so why we do this information, education, and action plan here on Bridges Live, ultimately it's about connecting with people around the world, and that's what I do, and you know that's what I do, and most of you people know that's what I do. And it's about living and understanding how lives are and can be here, there, and everywhere. But Dr. Thelma, please introduce yourself to my audience.
My name is Dr. Thelma Abuajewa Frimpong Mensah. I am a Ghanaian. I say I wear a lot of hats because I find myself doing quite a number of things. I have a doctorate in business administration. That is a finance option. Mm-hmm. I also hold an MBA in finance and also a BA in social science. Career-wise, I work as the operations manager and CFO for an international organization based in the U.S. I also work on a number of boards for NGOs, international NGOs. Notable amongst them are the African Youth and Diaspora Organization, which I serve as the Director for Women's Empowerment. I also serve on the board of the Shakers and Movers Educational Foundation,
that's right,
which is also based in the U.S. and Ghana. I also serve as the Director for Women Empowerment and Entrepreneurship on that board. I also happen to be the Vice President in charge of education of the African Youth Institute, which is based in Ghana. And I also have my own non-denominational organization, which I founded about a year ago, known as the Righteousness Revolution, which we seek to bring about righteousness. It's all about righteousness and then sending the gospel as far as it can go. I have a heart for the youth. I have served as a youth coach and mentor for over 10 years. I am more passionate about the youth and women. Everything about women empowerment, yes, you're going to get me. And so, yes, that's just a little bit about my background. In terms of work and career, I have experience in general administration, experience in teaching and lecturing. I do bits and pieces of all of that, as well as I also happen to be the CEO of my own consultancy firm, which I run alongside all the things I do, which is known as the Desert Dew Financial Consultancy. And so, yes, I guess that's a wrap about me and what I do. Yeah.
But one of the things is that it all services around people. If we don't help people become better and to build our community, you've recognized that's what hurts us as a people of all countries and all cultures, is that we don't honor our women, we don't teach our children, and we don't keep them in. We don't put enough investment in them. Don't you agree?
I agree with you to some extent. I would say the narratives are changing. Quite recently, the narratives are changing. It is getting better, but we are not there yet. It can still get better because whether we like it or not, women are the molders of society. We carry society, if I could put it that way, because we carry the next generation and the generation and the generation. We are carriers of the future and procreation as well. And so, just as the late Kwebi Agri from Ghana said, if you educate a man, you educate an individual.
Right.
But when you educate a woman, you educate a whole nation. And so, I believe that the trends are changing, but then it can get better. Yeah, it can get better.
One of the things that people, and thank you for coming on, because I know it's a little bit late there in Ghana. And, with us having a presidential election, how has that affected your country as far as business and trade and value?
So with the election, unfortunately, the leading opposition party, their presidential candidate, has refused to accept the results. That is quite unfortunate because I would say I'm not that old, but with the little I have seen in terms of elections in Ghana, this is the very first time that an opposition leader has refused to accept election results, and then has refused to also do it the right way. We normally know that if you have concerns in terms of elections and its results, the best place to seek redress is on the court. And quite unfortunately, he has refused to go on that tangent, and his followers are protesting all over. In terms of its effect on business, it has become such that you don't know where the protesters are going to demonstrate. You know, because it is not a well-organized one. Because it is not a well-organized one for the police to give them the protection and then the routes they should take for people to know that, okay, if I go this route, I'm going to meet them, and so there'll be traffic and all of that. But then it's become more of a spontaneous something, and so you just happen to hear that, oh, the protesters are demonstrating on this stretch of the road. And most of the time they do it in the central business places where, you know, Christmas is just around the corner, and people, for us in Ghana and mostly in Accra, the biggest business place is the Central Business District, which is Central Accra.
Right.
And once such things are going on, all roads leading to those places are blocked, and there is too much traffic. And so people find it very hard to go to do their businesses over there. And quite apart from that too, the demonstrations are not as peaceful as they're supposed to be. People are burning ties and all of that. I mean, some of them are getting a little bit out of hand, but by and large, the security agencies have been able to put them in check. And so we are hoping that as the days go by, they will do the right thing. We are hoping that the leadership of the party will tell them something for them to know that, okay, we're going to seek a redress in court, and so put a stop to all the protests and demonstrations, and then maybe life can go back to normal.
You know, when things are not normal, you know, when it comes to like education and women empowerment, is there a lot of pushback from the men in Ghana?
I think that as I said earlier on, things are improving. Things are really improving. The men are now understanding that they equally need the women on board. I mean, for society to be balanced and for everything to go on, they've come to accept the fact that it cannot be done without the women. And so, for some time now, there are quite a number of higher positions, if I could put it that way, at the national level, which are being offered to women. We have more women CEOs now. We have more women at the higher pedestal of governance and all of that. But it is not a 50% yet.
Oh yeah.
If we come to Parliament of Ghana, I think the number of women have increased with the current elections, but then there's still more room for improvement. And so yes, the men are coming to the table. They are coming. They are getting to the fact that they can't do it alone. They need the women on board, and so they are coming to the party now, and it's getting better. I must say it's getting better.
So, you know, you have daughters, I have daughters, your daughter's a little bit younger than I, and I think, is this progressively, should we just be okay with waiting on things and being okay that women being in the workplace, women being in business, this just takes time, or should this have just been what we have been doing all along?
I think there should be a more aggressive approach. We shouldn't just let it be as it is. I mean,
right.
As it is now, it is just an okay situation. But I believe that if there is much more effort put into it, we tell ourselves, okay, the men have had their way for far too long. So maybe in the next 5 or 10 years, let's give the women the chance. I mean, let's not push the men aside, but give the women the chance when there is that opportunity to employ a man or a woman against all odds. Let's favor the woman a little bit and see, because personally I believe that women are better managers than men. I mean, it is debatable, but in my opinion, I believe that women are better managers than men. And
well, how about this? You know what's not debatable? You know what there's no debate when you say a woman has more empathetic and more compassion, right? And until men develop empathy, compassion, and kindness, not because we're not talking about all men, right? But we are talking about a majority of men have a hard time being empathetic, compassionate, and showing kindness as a leader.
Yeah, exactly so. Exactly so.
So, as you know, as a senator in Ghana, and as a businesswoman, and as an educator, there's got to be these multiple steps you're taking to progress and build the community. What are some of those steps that you're doing? Because a lot of the stuff that you do or are doing, we can adapt also here in the United States, and vice versa. So what are some of those things that you're doing that's building your community?
So for me, as I said, I am more passionate about the youth, and so I do a lot of coaching with the youth. I would say I come down to their level. So one of the challenges that the youth have sometimes with the elderly is the fact that most of the elderly see the youth as stubborn. They see them as uncompromising. They have a world of their own. They have their own world view. But it helps when you are able to come down to their level, mingle with them, be with them, and then put yourself in their shoes, because the youth equally have a lot of challenges. And in our part of the world, unlike the developed world where, there is that, one thing I have noticed is that in the developed world, there is that kind of bond and cohesion between parents and their children.
Yeah.
But in our part of the world, it is not so much like that. Kids can't really open up to their parents to talk to them about issues. And apart from that, too, in our part of the world, most of the younger people tend not to even live with their parents.
Yeah.
Because of various factors. Some of them have left their parents in the villages and have moved to the urban centers in search of work and greener pastures. And so they find themselves in all kinds of situations where some of them are living with their friends who are just their age mates and have no better experience in life to, advise them on how to move on in life. They sort of learn from each other. But then they need someone older enough who is experienced to guide them. And so I tend to get along very well with the youth. They are my friends. I have quite a number of them. They come to my home anytime they want to. I cook, we eat, we chat, and we talk about so many things. And through that, I am able to advise them, use my life as an example unto them, because I am not very old and I'm not very young. I always say I am in between, but I say it's to the glory of God that I have achieved quite a lot, looking at where I am coming from with my background and all of that. And so I am able to use my experience to advise them and let them know that in spite of all the challenges and everything I have been through, I've always kept my eyes on the prize. I've always kept my dreams alive. And it would interest you to know that even after a doctorate, I still plan on going back to school to do another executive master's program, because the world keeps changing, new things keep coming up, and so you can't be stuck in what you learned some years back. And so yes, there is always that need to improve oneself, and I do that a lot with almost everybody I come in contact with. I try as much as possible to get them to come along with me as much as I can and support them in every way possible, financially, psychologically, emotionally, in terms of coaching and all of that. Yeah.
What is the draw for kids to want to leave the house and to go live not near their elders, where they can learn and live and to develop a happier life? Why do you think why do the boys or the girl or the young people, why do they leave? Like, what's the draw?
I think it comes from the fact that they are peers, and so I mean, right from school, they tend to be in their classroom with their mates who are age mates who seem to probably have the same challenges, the same likes and dislikes.
Okay.
They more or less gel with their own mates than the elderly. And so until we, the elderly, are empathetic and appreciate everything that comes with their ages, instead of shouting at them, making them feel like we don't really care about them, and then when they get such empathy and love from outside the home, in terms of their friends, in terms of people they don't even know who accepts them as they are, then it's much easier for them to look in that direction more than coming to the home.
Where do you see Ghana being in the next year or two as far as helping their youth, educating their youth? Do you think it's getting... Because you guys have had some struggles here with employment and then the mining. Still, you have a mining issue, right? You have you have a huge employment issue, and then you have a lot of outside influences for other countries taking a lot of your materials out and not paying you.
Yes. So on that score, it comes down to leadership. The people in charge of the affairs of the country, how well they are able to negotiate. Because when you have a foreign company coming to mine, and then you make them take everything away, well, for them, they are in for business. And so if you tell them to come and mine and do everything for free, and at the end of the day, take everything away, it's all good for them. So I believe that it all comes down to leadership, how well the people in charge are able to negotiate well, putting the interest of the country first, in spite of their own pockets or their own selfish gains. If our leaders will put the country forward, put the youth forward, and think about all of these things first, I'm sure a lot of the decisions they take, they would have a relook at it and probably revise it. And so in the next year or two, I am hopeful that things will get better. Now, the president came up in his first term of office, he came up with free senior high school education, which has had a lot of positive impact, because people who could not go to school due to fees and all of that, now they are all in school, because when they go to school, they are not paying school fees, they are given free food, they are given uniforms, they are more or less giving everything for free. And the results from the very first batch who completed shows a much higher improvement in their results as compared to the previous ones. And so we are hoping that in the coming years, people will take advantage of the free senior high school educational program. And at least if you are able to educate yourself to the senior high level, it is believed, it is not the best, but at least if that is your
it's something.
Then we can say that we are getting somewhere as a country.
Because when you look, and I have friends in Ghana, and the things that the reports that come out of there, and the things that go in there, the foreign countries are giving a lot of your politicians money to not block them in taking so much out. Now, that's, corrupt leadership everywhere, corrupt leadership in the United States, as you know. It's not about corruption. To me, it goes right back to local government, which that's kind of fractured in Ghana. There's not a lot of local government. There's just higher government, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, corruption is still an issue in Ghana. It is still a big deal, and I believe that one of a few researches that was done some time back, I don't have the exact figures, but it goes to show that corruption is one of the things that is really, really, really killing this country, if I could put it that way, because a lot of money that could have been put in the national coffers for developmental projects to benefit all, tends to find its way into the pockets of individuals.
Yes.
Who use it for God knows what, their own luxurious lifestyles and all of that. And so if we are able to put things right, if a foreign company comes in to do whatever business they are supposed to come and do, they need a license. They go through the right procedures. The monies involved are paid into the coffers they are supposed to be paid into. Then they know that it is a serious country and they can't take the people for granted. But here is the case where they can buy their way through. And so at the end of the day, they are not really bothered who says what, but then it's all about the fact that they can buy their way through and they have the money to do so. And unfortunately for us too, our people in the positions who are supposed to put in the right structures and then make sure that the right things are done tend to put their selfish ambitions ahead of that of the nation. And so at the end of the day, we all end up suffering.
Yeah.
The masses suffer whilst the few enjoy. But we are hoping that going forward, things will get better. We can only keep hope alive and pray that God will bless us with leaders who would put the nation ahead of their own individual gains.
Do you think you're ready to run? I was hoping, I wanted to ask you this question. I've been thinking about it. Do you think you would run for more of a leadership role in the country?
Well.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
It's not. It isn't something I have really decided, but honestly speaking, the way politics is done in this country, it is such that some of us well-meaning ones find ourselves sitting back, unfortunately, because you wake up in the morning, you tune into the radio, and you would hear somebody who knows nothing about politics get on the phone and lambast people in leadership as if they are their mates, as if they are their, toys and puppets.
Right.
And you ask yourself, what is really going on? Let me give you a typical example.
Okay.
So today,
yeah.
People, just as I cited, people are demonstrating in support of the opposition party that they claim they are not accepting the results. And they are holding placards with inscriptions like, Jane Mensah, you are a disgrace to womanhood, referring to the chair of the Electoral Commission. Now, this is a woman who is heading one of the biggest institutions in Ghana.
Okay.
She has earned her position. She's educated and all of that. She finds herself occupying such a position. But due to the fact that somebody says the commission didn't do its work well, so assuming it was me, I find myself in the morning with my name boldly written on a paper or a placard saying I am a disgrace to womanhood. And that really gets to me,
Of course it does.
How on earth can, for all you know, whoever wrote that is nowhere near that woman in terms of education, in terms of achievement, in terms of every other thing she has achieved in her life. And so I look at the fact that I'm going to wake up one morning and I'm going to hear somebody lambast me for something they have no idea about, but for the fact that they have gotten the opportunity to
do
probably phoning into a radio program or a TV program to share their opinions, and they are saying all manner of things that is so disgusting, for you to tell a woman that she is a disgraced womanhood, in fact, that really got to me. I must confess, it really got to me. And looking at the caliber of woman in question,
right.
She has achieved everything, And so these are some of the nitty-gritties that tends to be a bigger challenge for me, Thinking of,
but I think
thinking of a position like that. But let's see how it goes as the years come and go. Let's see how it goes.
But that's why I asked, because you have achieved such many things yourself. Don't hold you're no slacker. You have done some amazing work, and you continue to do some amazing work in Ghana. And yet, for some person to say nasty things about you because they don't want you to continue doing the work you're doing, it could, as much as it hurts, because we all get hurt by things people say about us, but yet that might give you some encouragement, saying I must be doing something right if someone feels so threatened by me to do the work that I am doing.
Yeah, you have a point. Yes, you do have a point. Yeah.
Because we need.
You sure do have a point.
We need you. We need you. We, all of us as a collective, we, government, not just, but we need you to always continue to keep empowering the women, keep educating those children, and keep building those communities where it is stronger, because I think so many people want it to be torn apart, and they get it torn apart through financial reasons. So it's time that we pull our resources together. Now, you started your own organization. If someone wanted to support you in the organization, how can they reach out to you?
Support in terms of resources, in terms of financial aid, every other thing. You can reach me via any of the social media handles. I'm quite I'm quite all over the place on LinkedIn, so you can search me by my name, Dr. Thelma Frimpong Mensah, on LinkedIn. Apart from that, I don't know if I'm allowed to put my phone number out.
Yes, please, you could do that, and I will put it in the chat box here that's going on the YouTube channel. I'll make sure I put it in the chat box of what you want me to put in here. So, what is the number?
Okay, the number will be +233.
What? Say again?
That's the country code.
Yeah.
+233.
5333. Yep.
243 72 38 28.
533.
No, 233. That's the country code for Ghana. +233.
5233.
Okay, let me see if I can put it in the chat box. I guess you can pick it from there, right?
Yeah, I can pick it from there because I have it locked into my phone of the Ghana code, but I just while you guys are putting that together, she is going to put in. It is 233.
I'm adding my email as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is 233. Okay. Yep, I got it.
Yeah.
And then if people because everyone needs support. We need support here in this country. We need support there. We need support. We need to help each other out. We need to definitely allow people to know that get involved. Right? I don't think enough people get involved.
Yeah.
I don't think enough people get involved. I think people say, I have my own issues, I'm taking care of my own stuff, I got their own stuff. But we can take care of our own stuff, and we can still lend a helping hand.
Sure. One other, if I'm permitted, if I could also,
please.
Since we are talking about help and financial aid and all of it. So I'm currently doing a project where there's an organization called the Fistula Foundation. I said I'm all about women empowerment.
Right,
and all of
right.
That. And so quite a number of the projects I do are all women-centered. And so I'm currently raising funds to support the Fistula Foundation of Ghana. What they do is that there's a condition called obstetric fistula, which is basically, it actually affects women. It's a woman condition, and it normally happens to women who conceive, and sometimes in the process of giving birth, they get the fistula condition where there is a tear in the bowel, and so their internal organs cannot hold urine and feces. And so it's more like once they want to pass urine, it just comes out. They can't control it. And so the Fistula Foundation gives such women life-changing surgeries, and they do it free of charge. And so my next project, the project I'm currently working on, It's a fundraiser for the Fistula Foundation Ghana to support their activities. And so anyone who can be of help to me in that line will be very much appreciated. I started it on my birthday, actually, which was the 4th of this month. And I'm hoping that I would bring everything to an end by hopefully the end of January next year, and then go and do the donation by early February next year, God willing. And so as many as can support me in that line, I'll be very appreciative. Yeah.
Well, I thank you so much, Dr. Thelma, for coming on my show. I love our friendship that we can develop and build stronger communications and information back and forth between here and there. But I just want to say thank you so much for coming on my show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a big platform, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And kiss those kids good night. It's almost time for them to hit the bed. So,
Yeah.
God bless. Have a good night.
Thank you, and have a good day too. Bye-bye.
Bye.